Hello, I'm Father Joe Roesch of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. Thank you for joining us as we continue with our year-long journey reading the diary of St. Maria Faustina Kowalska from beginning to end. Today we take up from where we left off, beginning with diary entry number 138. A great mystery has been accomplished between God and me. Courage and strength have remained in my soul. When the time of adoration came to an end, I came out and calmly faced everything I had feared so much before. When I came out into the corridor, a great suffering and humiliation at the hands of a certain person was awaiting me. I accepted it with submission to a higher will and snuggled closely to the most sacred heart of Jesus, letting him know that I was ready for that for which I had offered myself. Suffering seemed to spring out of the ground. Even Mother Margaret herself was surprised. For others, many things passed unnoticed, for indeed it wasn't worth paying any attention to them. But in my case, nothing passed unnoticed. Each word was analyzed, each step watched. One sister said to me, "Get ready, sister, to receive a small cross at the hands of Mother Superior. I feel sorry for you." But as for me, I rejoiced at this in the depths of my soul, and had been ready for it for a long time. When she saw my courage, she was surprised. I see now that a soul cannot do much of itself, but with God it can do all things. Behold what God's grace can do. Few are the souls that are always watchful for divine graces, and even fewer of such souls who follow those inspirations faithfully. Still, a soul who is faithful to God cannot confirm its own inspirations. It must submit them to the control of a very wise and learned priest, and until it is quite certain, it should remain distrustful. It should not, on its own initiative alone, put its trust in these inspirations and all other higher graces, because it can thus expose itself to great losses. Even though a soul may immediately distinguish between false inspirations and those of God, it should nevertheless be careful, because many things are uncertain. God is pleased and rejoices when a soul distrusts him for his own sake, because it loves him. It is prudent, and itself asks and searches for help to make certain that it is really God who is acting within it. And once a well-instructed confessor has confirmed this, the soul should be at peace and give itself up to God according to his directions, that is, according to the directions of the confessor. Pure love is capable of great deeds, and it is not broken by difficulty or adversity. As it remains strong in the midst of great difficulties, so too it perseveres in the toilsome and drab life of each day. It knows that only one thing is needed to please God, to do even the smallest things out of great love. Love and always love. Pure love never errs. Its light is strangely plentiful. It will not do anything that might displease God. It is ingenious at doing what is more pleasing to God, and no one will equal it. It is happy when it can empty itself and burn like a pure offering. The more it gives of itself, the happier it is. But also, no one can sense dangers from afar as can love. It knows how to unmask and also knows with whom it has to deal. Well, Sister Faustina didn't have to wait long to begin to live her new calling as sacrifice. After her surrender and after she had been inundated with graces, the sufferings began as soon as she came out of the chapel. But St. Faustina was now transformed. She wasn't afraid. And she had discovered the secret that when we collaborate with God and do things with his grace and strength that he gives us, things become easier to accomplish. She also writes that God is not displeased when we want to discern and be sure that graces come from him, because we love him and we don't want to be fooled by an illusion. She also writes of the importance of not trying to discern where an inspiration comes from without the help of a confessor or a spiritual director, because we can be fooled. And then she writes about love. Pure love can endure anything. Joy is found in self-emptying and in giving the gift of oneself. Here, Jesus is teaching St. Faustina and us what love really means.